Your best networking tip to the younger generation.
I'll tell you what Jim Rohn taught me, because it's the best advice I ever got. I was 17 years old. I went to him one day and said, help me understand why we're broke. It doesn't seem fair that some school teacher makes, in those days, $35,000 a year, and this billionaire hedge fund guy makes $1 billion in a year. And he said, Tony, listen to me. He said something I'll never forget. He goes, we're all equal as souls. You're right, but we're not equal in the marketplace. And he said, your job, it's very simple. You have to become more valuable. You have to do more for others than anybody else in the marketplace.
Get ready for the real talk, the grind, and the hustle. You're tuned into Nothing But Up, the podcast. Season 3, with your host,
Angelo.
Welcome to the podcast. It's Jameer Angelo, your host for Nothing But Up, the podcast. And I'm coming to you live from my simple home office here in the province of South Cotabato. This episode is presented to you by Funnel Expert PH, enabling business coaches, entrepreneurs, e-commerce stores, and real estate clients to scale their businesses through sales funnels. Visit our site at funnelexpertph.com to book a free consultation call. And also presented to you by White Coat, the content creation house, crafting content for the world's most famous brands, organizations, and high-profile public figures, with offices in the UK and Singapore. Visit their site at whitecoat.tv to book a free discovery call. You're tuned in today to Season 3, Episode 13, and we're back at it again with another episode that hopefully should inspire you and get some nuggets from. Now, all right, let's try to get right into it. I mean, no fluff, no bullshit. And today, we're going to be talking about networking, and I would probably piss some people off, but that is actually good, because if you're young right now and you think your problem is you don't know the right people, well, I promise you, that's not your fucking problem at all. Your problem is value. Networking is not about who you know. It's actually about why they'd give a shit about you. Now, let me try and take you back for a second here, guys. I mean, this goes back years ago, before the wins, before the recognition, before any of this made sense. I was just a guy at home asking one question: how do I make money online? No roadmap, no mentor, no inside connection. So I actually did what most people do when they're desperate, but hopeful. And that is researching. So I researched, for hours, late nights, so many trial and errors. Then I found this platform. This was called Odesk before, and you probably know it now as Upwork. So I signed up for created an account, built a profile, and I wasn't even confident then, but I started applying for jobs. And let me be honest with you, I had zero connections. So I didn't know anyone in this space. No referrals, no credibility. I had no social proof, and just me, clicking apply, hitting each of the available jobs that I could probably apply for. And then out of those applications, guys, I landed a job. So one job, no one backing me up, no safety net, and the work that was outbound calls to loan applicants in Canada. So every time someone got approved, I earned around $10 commission per conversion, and that's practically it. I had no salary, no guarantees, just value for value. Now, here's the part that I really want you to hear. I didn't get that job because I knew someone. I got that job because I was willing to show up. I was willing to do the work and create value. And once I was inside, I didn't complain. I didn't say this is just $10. But I asked myself, how do I become useful? How do I become undeniable? Because here's the truth, guys. Most people don't want to accept networking is not about who you know. It's about why they'd give a shit about you. Now, people don't remember names, to be honest. They remember value, right? And they remember who solves problems, who shows up consistently, who makes their life easier. And that job, that $10 per conversion job at a time, proved something to me that shaped everything after. You don't need connections to start. You need commitment. You don't need a huge network to win. You need to become valuable first. Because once you do that, the network will eventually find you. Now, here's the story, the question that really changed everything for me, right? So I really want to tell you a story that literally rewired how I see money, how I see success, and people around me. So one day I came across this interview I saw about Tony Robbins, and I've been following him for like years now, man. So he was like 17 years old, broke, hungry, confused, a little angry at the world. He said that he went through to Jim Rohn and asked a question most people are too scared to ask loud. He asked, "Help me understand why we are broke." He said, "How the hell is it fair that a school teacher makes 35 grand a year and some hedge fund guy makes billions of dollars a year?" Then Jim Rohn looked at Tony and said, "Listen carefully." He said, "We are all equal as souls, but we are not equal in the marketplace." And that shit hit me like a truck. Now, he wasn't saying some people are worth more as human beings, right? He was saying that the marketplace doesn't reward intentions. It rewards value. And that message took me straight back to my own beginning, actually. Because there was a time when I was already hungry, already working hard, but nobody knew who I was. No followers, no credibility. I got no social proof. Just a simple kid trying to figure out the online world, sending messages, building funnels late at nights, failing quietly while watching others win loudly. And as a soul, I was already enough. But in the marketplace, sadly, I was invisible. And that's when that shift happened. I realized something really uncomfortable, but truly liberating in a sense. And that is, the world does not owe me success. It only responds to the value I bring. So instead of asking opportunities, I decided to become the opportunity. I obsessed over learning, funnels, copy, strategy, the psychology behind, the execution. I built when no one was watching. And I delivered results before I ever, asked for recognition. And that's how Practically Funnel Expert PH was born. Not as a brand chasing attention, but as a byproduct of becoming very useful, becoming very reliable, and undeniable. And as my value grew, doors literally opened. Clients trusted me. Results spoke louder than my name ever could. And the marketplace finally noticed, not because I demanded it, but because I freaking earned it. And that's why Tony's message hits so deep to me. We are all equal as souls. No one is above you, no one is below you. But in business, in career, in impact, your value determines your voice. Your skills determine your reach. And your results determine your leverage. And becoming more valuable, guys, didn't make me less humble. It made me more capable. And that capability is what pushed me through every doubt, every slow season, every moment when, quitting felt easier in a way. So if you feel unseen right now, remember this. You don't need to be known. You just simply need to be valuable. Because again, the marketplace will catch up. It always does. And when you do the work first, definitely you will be rewarded. And the truth is, the marketplace doesn't give a shit about you, right? It doesn't. And let me say this clear so nobody misunderstands me. The marketplace doesn't care how hard you try. It doesn't care about, your excuses. It doesn't care about fairness. It only cares about value, that one single thing. And you don't get paid based on effort. You get paid based on how many people you help and how well you help them. So if you're broke right now, it's not because you're unlucky. It's because the market hasn't felt your value yet. And that is not an insult. That's fucking empowerment for you. Right? Because you see, before, when I didn't start as a funnel expert, by the way, guys. And you know that. I started as a virtual assistant, someone behind the scenes, doing tasks, following instructions, waiting for the next job to land in my inbox. But back then, income was capped, not by effort, but by skills. And that's the part most people don't want to admit. I work hard as hell. I showed up every day. I was really reliable. But hard work alone didn't unlock shit. What changed everything wasn't luck. It wasn't connections. It wasn't a viral post. It was the moment I decided to upskill. So I got tired of being just helpful. I wanted to be valuable. So I learned funnels, not just the tech side, but the entire psychology behind the strategy, the why behind every click, every page, every freaking damn offer. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. Skills pay. Titles don't. Hustle without leverage is bullshit, guys. So when I became a funnel expert, doors opened that I didn't even know existed. Clients stopped asking, can you do this? They started asking, what do you think we should do? And that is the difference. It made it a rule to over-deliver like a madman. Not because I had to, but because that's how you separate yourself from the noise. I answered when others disappeared. I stayed when projects get a little bit messy. I really care when it wouldn't even be easier to say, that's not my job anymore. Because your reputation is built in the moments when you could walk away, but don't. And yeah, let me just say this plainly for you guys. I gave a fuck, a real freaking fuck, a real one. I treated my clients' businesses like my own. I didn't just build funnels, I built trust. And trust compounds faster than money ever will. That's when income changed. That's when opportunities multiplied. Referrals became automatic, not because I was the cheapest, not because I was the loudest, but because I became hard to replace. So if you're stuck wondering why your income hasn't moved, try to ask yourself this. What skill am I avoiding learning? Where am I playing it safe? And am I actually valuable or just busy as hell? Ask those questions to yourself. Upskilling changed my life, guys. From virtual assistant to becoming a funnel expert, from a task doer to problem solver, from surviving to building something real. That's the power of skills. That's how value unlocks your income. And once you get it, there's no going back to playing small. Now, why do you think most people suck at networking? Right? Because I think for me, most people network like assholes. They DM people they admire and immediately ask for something. Can I pick your brain? No, you can't. Fuck off, man. I mean, they just want access without contribution. They want mentorship without momentum. And that's not networking, guys. That's begging with Wi-Fi. And here's the truth. If your first interaction is asking for a favor, you've already lost. Because, I still remember one, DM that made me stop and stare at my screen. I know I posted this on social media. I don't know, maybe on Facebook or Instagram, or maybe both. Literally no hi, no context, no respect for time, just literally a pitch. Not even a good one, I would say. It went something like, hey bro, I can help you scale. Just let's jump on a call. Dude, no research, no idea who I was, no understanding of what we do at Funnel Expert PH. And I think just plainly entitlement. And that DM wasn't rare. It was a pattern. And over the years, as Funnel Expert PH grew, as we started winning, serving bigger clients, building teams across regions, the DMs changed, not in quality, but in audacity. People asking for free strategies, people pitching without permission, people demanding access as if success owed them something. But the truth is, bad DMs are a mirror of bad mindset. They come from people who want shortcuts without sweat, results without reps, access without value. And that is exactly the opposite of how Funnel Expert PH was built. We didn't slide into inboxes begging. We didn't pitch without proof. We didn't feel entitled to anyone's time. We built funnels, we built results, we built trust, quietly, consistently, relentlessly. And every client we serve today, they came because they felt the value before we even spoke. And that is the difference, guys. A funnel doesn't beg. A brand doesn't chase. A real offer attracts. That's when I see bad DMs today. I don't get annoyed anymore. I get reminded why Funnel Expert PH focuses on systems, positioning, and value-first marketing. Because if your only strategy is to send more messages, you don't have a funnel, you have a desperation. Desperation never converts at scale. So try to build value, again, as what I've said. Build proof, build systems. Because the right people won't need convincing. They are already watching. Now, have you ever wondered what real network working really looks like? What does it really look like? Right? Connecting with people. For me, guys, real networking is boring as hell. It's sending value without expectation, making intros nobody asked for, solving problems quietly. It's doing shit when nobody's clapping. You don't say, what can this person do for me? You would ask, how can I make their life easier? Guys, your network is a byproduct, not a goal. There was a time when I helped someone knowing it would never come back. I think this was way back 2016. A good friend of mine from Canada. He wasn't really polished. He wasn't confident. And honestly, he had no clue how to run an online business. And all he had was a product back then, a dream, and a lot of confusion. It was an e-commerce store. From the outside, it looked pretty simple. But behind the scenes, it was total chaos, guys. No systems, no strategy, no platforms, no understanding of traffic, funnels, offers, or even scaling. So I did what I have always done. I didn't just consult, I built with him. So from the ground up, I over-delivered. I explained things slowly to him. I repeated myself when needed. I stayed late. I answered questions that most people would have charged extra for. But the truth is, I didn't just coach him. I babysat the business from day one. Not because I had to, but because I believed in helping people win. And fast forward, guys, the store took off, the brand grew, the audience exploded, and a massive following, millions in revenue. A business that no longer needed hand-holding. And life moved on for both him and I. And years passed. One day, I heard from him again. No pitch, no request, no favor, just a message. A simple thank you. He told me his business was still thriving. He told me he was still making millions. But what hit me the hardest wasn't the money. It was this. His family was stable. His life was peaceful. And he was living the best life he ever had. And he wanted me to know that a big part of that started with those early days when he didn't know what he was doing and someone chose to help him anyway. And that's when it hit me. Because you see, sometimes the biggest returns don't come immediately. Sometimes they don't come in cash. Sometimes they come back as gratitude, as a legacy, and a quiet proof that doing good actually matters. So help people when they're small. Help them when it's inconvenient. Help them when no one is watching. Because you never know or how. It will always come back to you. And when it does, it truly hits different. Now, here's where it gets a little bit real, guys. When you become undeniably valuable, networking becomes automatic. People start saying your name in rooms you're not in. That's kind of like leverage. That's reputation. That's the long game. Skills pay the bills. Character compounds. Because you see, I didn't wake up one day with a reputation. No blue check, no awards, no headlines, no 2 Comma Club awards or conversations. Just literally work. And when I started Funnel Expert PH, it wasn't glamorous, guys. No big team, no fancy office, no viral posts. Just me showing up, building funnels when no one was watching, answering clients' messages at odd hours, fixing mistakes, learning fast, and doing work again the next day. And then again, and again, and again. And that's the part most people skip. They want the recognition before the repetition. They want trust before the track record. They want authority before consistency. But you see, consistency is quiet, guys. It doesn't announce itself. It just stacks days. And at first, the results were small. One client, then another, then referrals started happening without ads. And clients didn't come because I was loud. They came because I was reliable. I did what I said I would do, and I deliver when I promised. I didn't disappear after the payment cleared. That's when I realized something powerful. Reputation is simply consistency witnessed over time. And years later, that consistency turned into things I couldn't have forced. Getting featured through the media. Media features, high-level clients or high-profile clients, long-term partnerships, teams in multiple countries, millions in generated revenue, trust before introductions were even made. And people would say, I've been watching you for years, Jameer. I didn't even know they were watching. But that's how it works. Your future opportunities are observing your current habits. Every, funnel built with care, every client treated like a long-term relationship, every promise kept, even when no one would have noticed if I didn't. Consistency gave me credibility. Credibility gave me reputation. And reputation gave Funnel Expert PH longevity. Trends come and go. Platforms change, algorithms shift, but reputation compounds. And the best part, you don't need to be the best. You just need to be the one who doesn't fucking quit. And that means showing up, doing the work, keeping your word. And long enough and quietly enough, the results will introduce you before you even speak. And that's how consistency built Funnel Expert PH. And that's why we are still here. So, let me talk directly to the younger generation for a second. Young, aspiring entrepreneurs or freelancers that has been following me and has been listening to our podcast show. You are not behind, but you are responsible. And as I've said, you don't need more followers. You need more fucking competence. So stop chasing rooms. Build something so valuable, they invite you in. That's how it works. And there was also a time in Funnel Expert PH, I was doing it all alone. No team, no big wins, no screenshots, no overnight success stories. Just plainly my computer and a belief that if I learned the skill deeply enough, I could change it. I could change my life. I didn't start with confidence, guys. I started with commitment. So I didn't know all the answers, but I knew I was willing to figure it out when things got uncomfortable. There were days where funnels didn't convert. Clients questioned results. Sleep was actually optional, believe it or not. And doubt was really screaming to me loud. But here's what I learned early on. Growth doesn't respond to motivation. It responds to standards. So I chose to raise mine. So every failure became feedback. Every late night became tuition. Every this is hard became proof that I was on the right path. And fast forward now, Funnel Expert PH, we're already a team, we have a system, and now we have a movement. And we've served hundreds of clients, guys, generated millions in revenue, built teams across regions, and created opportunities and really, I thought once I prayed for. But try to listen to me very carefully. The biggest win wasn't the money. It wasn't the recognition. It was becoming the version of myself who could carry success without breaking. Now, here's a little encouragement for you. If you're in a messy middle right now, if you're doubting your pace, if you feel behind, you're not failing. You are forming. And now, here's the challenge. Stop waiting to feel ready, okay? Stop consuming without applying. Stop lowering your standards to match your comfort. Decide today to play the long game. Decide to show up even when no one is clapping. Decide to build skills that pay forever. Because the truth is, the gap between where you are now and where you want to be isn't talent, isn't luck, it isn't about resources. It's the decision to commit longer than doubt can survive. And that's how we were built. That's how lives change. And that is the standard. Because the market doesn't reward potential, it rewards proof. So stop asking who you should know. Start asking how you can become undeniable. And that's the game, that's the truth. Nothing but up. And guys, that's a wrap for today's episode. Remember, no matter what challenges you may face, there's always a way to rise above and keep moving forward. With the right mindset and determination, nothing can hold you back. Nothing but up. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast for more inspiring conversations like this. Listen to us on Spotify, and we are also on YouTube. This is Jameer Angelo, the founder of Funnel Expert PH, and this is Nothing But Up, the podcast. Peace, y'all.
Nothing But Up, the podcast season 3. This episode is brought to you by Funnel Expert PH, the world's leader in sales funnels and automations. Visit funnelexpertph.com to learn more. And also presented to you by White Coat, the content creation house, crafting content for the world's most famous brands, organizations, and high-profile public figures. Visit their website to learn more. See you on our next episode. Peace, y'all.